Hey, welcome to Midtown Comics Times Square. My name is Greg. John is behind the camera. And if you follow comics, you know today is Wednesday, which is the best day of the week by far. It's New Comic Book Day. So each and every Wednesday, John and I, our objective is to make you feel like you were in the best shop in New York City. The downtown and Grand Central store are also pretty awesome. But Times Square, you gotta come here if you're ever in the city. So every New Comic Book Day, we want to make you feel like you're here in the store looking at all the new releases with us. Whether you're watching next door in Brooklyn or over in Australia, we want to transport you to the store. It's like Nightcrawler stopped by, teleported you in, and now you're looking at new comics. So let's get right to it. First up, Dark Horse Comics. If you've been missing some sci-fi action with the Xenomorphs and Predators, you have two options today. Aliens Defiance, which may or may not include an Alien Queen action scene, and Aliens versus Predator. There's also a lot of options from Dark Horse today, so I'm going to let John do a close-up of them because there are way more options than usual. Usually Dark Horse will have 3 to 4 releases this week. Now they are going all out this week. I mean, yeah, Buffy, Conan, Department H, Ether, Harrow County, Hellboy, a winter special issue, Serenity, for all the people out there who are missing Firefly, Slayer, Repentless #1, and also from Dark Horse and Boom Studios, Tarzan on the Planet of the Apes, nice crossover there, and Tomb Raider. Lots to choose from this week from Dark Horse Comics. Then we get into DC Rebirth. Plenty of new releases, but before we talk about them, today's actually a pretty big day for DC. It's Jeff John's birthday, so of course on behalf of Midtown Comics, we want to say thank you for all your work, and we hope you have a great day. If you're not familiar with Jeff John's work, he of course has an unforgettable run on Green Lantern, JSA, Teen Titans, Justice League, Aquaman, the list goes on and on. Flash, yeah, we recommend, I recommend Throne of Atlantis, his first Aquaman volume, Flashpoint, obviously, if you're into the Flash, Sinestro Core War. There are just so many options. Check them out. Just go to our website, midtowncomics.com, search Jeff Johns up top. You will see a ton of options to choose from, and enjoy reading. And once again, happy birthday. So now, let's take a look at what comes out this week from DC Rebirth. We have a brand new story arc in Batgirl, Son of Penguin Part 1. We have a crossover with Wonder Woman 77 and Batman 66. So if you love the classic live action shows, also I'm pretty certain that's an Alex Ross cover, which is awesome. And then we have Blue Beetle #5, really fun comic. Batman Beyond. If you also love that animated show and you need more of Terry McGinnis in your life, there you go. And this is a comic I am especially excited for. The second chapter of Batwoman Begins in Detective Comics. This has been an especially good comic. And now you have Ben Oliver doing artwork. Let's give a preview. Why not? So not only does this look at Batwoman's earlier years, but it's also a continuation, of course, of everything that's been building up in Detective Comics. Let's just give you a moment or two to appreciate that artwork, as well as Batwoman just palm-punching Batman in the face. I love Batman, obviously, but that's pretty cool to see. And I will end you on that note, because I don't want to give any more away. I haven't read this yet, but this is probably what I'm going to read first today. Really looking forward to it. Once again, Batman Detective Comics, Part 2 of Batwoman Begins in issue 949. It's only $2.99. We also have a brand new issue of Deathstroke. As you can tell by the cover, Creeper is on it, and while Creeper's kind of a funny character, this is actually a very serious issue which deals with gun violence in Chicago. I don't want to give anything away, but it's worth checking out. Then there's also a brand new issue of Doom Patrol, which of course so many people love. It's from DC's Young Animal line. This is the 4th chapter. We also have The Flash Rogues Reloaded. This is the second part of the return of the Rogues in DC Rebirth. As you can see, Heatwave is featured on the cover. I have not read this yet. I'm looking forward to it. Likely the second comic I'm going to read this week after Detective. So once again, second part of the Rogues. We also have Hanna-Barbera Future Quest, Hal Jordan, and the Green Lantern Corps, which takes a look at the future of the Green Lantern Corps. So if you're curious to see what's going to happen with these characters, this is obviously going to leave teasers and leave you wondering how do they get there. It's also a brand new Hellblazer. For all the Constantine fans out there, of course, Justice League Dark, the animated movie, is right around the corner. That's almost out. Really looking forward to that. And there's also a Killer Frost one-shot, which leads into Steve Orlando's Justice League of America comic. There's also the final chapter of Justice League versus Suicide Squad. You got the two covers here. Love the Killer Frost versus Cyborg. Now, before you read the Killer Frost one-shot, read the conclusion to Justice League vs. Suicide Squad. Otherwise, it spoils it. Now, before we move on, there's a few new releases up here. Quite a few, actually. There's Nightwing Volume 1. So if you haven't checked out Nightwing's new run yet, perfect jumping on point, obviously. John and I made a video yesterday talking about why you should check out Nightwing, as well as Green Lanterns, which is the other Volume 1 coming out this week from DC Rebirth. For Nightwing, obviously, as you can see, he's back in the classic black and blue costume. This is all about his relationship with several characters in Bat Family, as well as his code that he lives by, and whether or not Batman helped him or hurt him by bringing him in after his tragic origin. And there's also a huge deluxe edition for Batman and an omnibus for the classic Bronze Age Batman. For all the people out there who are interested in Man-Bat, there is a collection looking at some of his key issues. And there are more trade paperbacks over here and hardcovers from Dark Horse Comics, including Aliens Defiance, Volume 1. You know, let's show off a page or two of Justice League vs. Suicide Squad, the final chapter. Once again, this is the finale of Justice League vs. Suicide Squad. If you like Killer Frost or Lobo, or if you're interested in Justice League of America, check this out. And check that out. I believe this is Howard Porter. Yes, it is. He's also the artist over on The Flash with Joshua Williamson. And, of course, Joshua Williamson has been writing this very fun crossover as well. Well, limited event, excuse me. But there are crossover issues, so, or tie-ins. And we'll show off one more page. So once again, this is the finale to Justice League vs. Suicide Squad, which is the first big event since DC Rebirth launched. Check it out. And once again, be sure to read that before reading the Killer Frost one-shot. And then we get to the Commandy Challenge, revisiting Jack Kirby's, his world. And the interesting thing here is the creative teams are going to alternate. And one creative team will come up with a cliffhanger, and then it's the job of the next creative team to follow that up and come up with a cliffhanger of their own. So let's take a look at it. Like I said before, Justice League Dark. It's out soon. You can get your copy at MidtownComics.com. And we also posted about the East Coast premiere. Hopefully some of you won tickets to attend that. We'll be there interviewing the cast, including Matt Ryan. So if there's something you really want to ask them, let us know, and we'll see if we can ask them while we're there at the event. Well, that was a short preview. There we go. All right, there's still plenty to see, so let's move on. All right, and then there's also a Justice League vs. Suicide Squad tie-in. With the Suicide Squad, this is actually an epilogue for that big event. And of course, features Amanda Waller very prominently in that issue. There's also Man of Steel, The Last Battlefield Action Comics, which, as you can tell by the cover, features a team-up between Lex Luthor in his suit and Superman. And then Teen Titans, number 4. I am looking forward to this issue. I have not read yet. I haven't even flipped through it yet. I don't want to ruin anything. This has been a really fun series for me. Then again, I am a very big Damian Wayne fan. And the last issue had a big reveal regarding Ra's al Ghul, or Ra's al Ghul, however you want to pronounce it. And I'm looking forward to this. There's also, if you're a fan of Wonder Woman, her mythos, this looks before Wonder Woman. As you can see, long before Wonder Woman, Odyssey of the Amazons. Very first issue of a 6-issue limited series. And then there's a Wonder Woman trilogy going on here. We also have Wonder Woman 77 meets the Bionic Woman. DC is co-publishing that with Dynamite. And then we have a brand new story arc in Wonder Woman called The Truth. So let's take a look at part 1.
It's like the beginning of Terminator 2.
Very cool double page spread there. Alright, and give you a look at one more page. And we'll end on that note. There you go. So once again, Wonder Woman 15, the start of a brand new story arc. So check it out if you've fallen behind and want to check out what's going on in Wonder Woman's world. There's also a new issue of Frostbite from Vertigo. Then we get into Valiant. They have quite a few releases. Bloodshot, USA #4, Action Pact. We also have Divinity 3, Stalinverse #2, and the third chapter of Savage, which is a really good new series. Then over at IDW Publishing, they are co-publishing with DC Batman TMNT Adventures, which joins the classic Kevin Conroy Batman the Animated Series with the new Nickelodeon Ninja Turtles, which is a really good show, by the way. I was skeptical about that at first, but I've been loving it. And this one features, as you can see on the primary cover, Poison Ivy and Snakeweed. Yeah, let's give a preview. Why not? So this is actually Batman's second team up with the Ninja Turtles. Earlier in 2016, the comic versions, the IDW versions, and the DC versions of Batman and the Ninja Turtles had a crossover. Very, very entertaining and fun crossover. And now, as you can see, it is the animated versions. So what does a team up with Joker, Harley Quinn, Shredder, Tiger Claw, and Razar and Fishface like? Let's find out. And then one more page. Well, two. Fun and for all ages. It's a good time. And then also, Biff to the Future. Brand new series from IDW obviously features Biff from the Back to the Future movies. And we also have a new G.I. Joe, Gem and the Holograms, and I can't see behind here, Micronauts. And then there's also Star Trek and the Green Lanterns, a crossover. That's the second issue. But before we move any further, I actually moved past a few new releases. As you can see here, if you're looking forward to Super Sons in February, get a look at some of the classic Super Sons. It's also Generation Zero from Valiant. I believe this is the first 5 issues. There's also a Starfire collection, as well as Green Lanterns, Volume 1. John and I talked a lot about this yesterday, featuring Jessica Cruz, Simon Baz, and Atrocitus and his Red Lanterns. Really good time. And there's also Checkmate, Book 1 by Greg Rucka. And then, friend of the store, Charles Sewell, letter 44, excuse me. More Greg Rucka for you. There's quite a few new releases over here. One that I think is especially cool, the deluxe edition of Ninjak. This is book 1 of his latest run. So if you're curious about Ninjak versus the Valiant Universe, the web show later this year, pick this up and enjoy. There's also Black Monday Murderers. Black Monday Murders, misspoke there. As from Jonathan Hickman from Image Comics as well. Writer Jonathan Hickman. And as I was saying before, we have a crossover between Star Trek and the Green Lanterns. A new issue of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which has been a great run. There's also Optimus Prime, number 3. And just a ton of new releases as well from Image Comics. So I'm just going to let John provide a close-up. We have everything from a new chapter of Reborn from Mark Millar and Greg Capullo to a new issue of Saga. So as you can see, Image Comics always provides a lot of options, whether it's sci-fi, drama, they just have everything. Westerns, they have a great variety of comics to choose from. And now we get into Marvel. Speaking of great variety, they also have a lot of new releases today. You have Avengers, 1.MU. You want to see the Avengers taking on giant monsters? Obviously check that out. Black Panther 10, continuation of the very critically acclaimed run. Not sure what Power Rangers are doing over here, but there's also Power Rangers Pink. This is issue 6 of 6, the last issue of the limited series. There's also a big issue for all the Captain America fans out there. Steve Rogers, Captain America, number 10. Carnage, 16, which is a big conclusion for the character there. And speaking of Carnage and the symbiotes, it was recently revealed that Eddie Brock will once again be wearing the Venom symbiote later this year. There's also a big issue for Doctor Strange, which, as you can tell by the cover, features the return of Dormammu. And this is a very big issue. Not literally, just figuratively. It is a very big issue. Civil War II, The Oath, number 1. Follow-up to the conclusion of Civil War II. And I don't want to spoil anything, but let's just say it is a nice teaser for the future of the Marvel Universe. So if you're invested in the Marvel Universe, check it out. It's definitely going to be a nice taste of what's to come. And before we move forward, there are some new collections from Marvel as well. Uncanny X-Men, classic Star Wars, looking back at the Clone Saga, some classic Punisher Max stuff. We also have Powers. And then some of the old school Invincible Iron Man. And then for all the Deadpool fans out there, if you want to read his earliest appearances, Deadpool Beginnings. Check it out. It has his first appearance in New Mutants, of course, New Mutants 98, as well as appearances in X-Force, Nomad, his first 2 limited series, I believe, which include Slayback and Juggernaut and Black Tom Cassidy, as well as appearance in Defenders, and a few run-ins with Wolverine. As you can see here, and here, and here, and here. Quite a few good fights, as well as his team-up with the Heroes for Hire. 2 issues in there. And, yeah. So if you want to take a look at the earliest appearance of Deadpool, before he started to become a good guy, when he was introduced as an evil mercenary, but still had a conflicted, inner struggle. Check these out. These are critical for the character's future. And then also, looking back at 2 more, Black Panther, which of course includes Shuri. And speaking of Shuri, I forgot to mention she is back in Black Panther. So check that out if you like the character. And then we ended with Civil War II, The Oath, which once again is a huge issue for Marvel this week. Very important for what's to come. And we have Daredevil. As you can see, features the return of Bullseye. There is some great internal dialogue here by Charles Soule, as well as a swift but very entertaining fight. And then we also have Deadpool, which looks at, I believe, the 2099 universe. And then we have Ghost Rider, which not only features Ghost Rider, but also Totally Awesome Hulk and X-23 as Wolverine. Speaking of Hulk, we have the 2nd issue of She-Hulk. And then we also have a brand new chapter of Inhumans versus X-Men, the 3rd one. There's a big fight in the beginning with Old Man Logan, so let's take a look at it. And if you haven't been paying attention to what's going on with the Inhumans and the X-Men, you don't know who's who, check it out right here. It has the character credits. And if you haven't been paying attention, boom, recap. Alright, I promised Old Man Logan action, and there you go, right in the beginning. Unfortunately, doesn't go too well for him. Aw, poor Logan. His series is great, by the way. If you're not reading Old Man Logan, check it out. Obviously, now is the perfect time to do so with Logan right around the corner, which looks like it's just a terrific movie. I'm really looking forward to it. But be sure to pick up the classic Old Man Logan, the current Old Man Logan, as well as a bunch of X-23 comics like Innocence Lost and All New Wolverine. There's also a brand new chapter of Infamous Iron Man. I've been really enjoying this. Bendis, Malieve, and Hollingsworth. There's new Moon Girl and the Devil Dinosaur. She is officially the smartest person on the universe, on the planet. And I imagine some people, maybe like Victor Von Doom, aren't too happy about that. You'll have to read to find out. If you have been enjoying Clone Conspiracy, be sure to read Prowler to get even more of that story arc. There's also a brand new chapter of The Punisher, issue number 4 of Solo, if you really enjoyed Deadpool and the Mercer Money, or if you love the character from the 90s, his few brief appearances. This is, of course, a very rare spotlight into his life. You don't see too much of him outside of that comic. And then there's also Spider-Man and Deadpool. If you want to see what it's like having Spider-Man and Deadpool attempt to work together as they take on a giant monster. This is what you gotta check out. Let's take a look at the primary cover. It's kind of an accurate recap of the issue. No, it's not. And then there's also more of Spider-Woman's life, Spider-Woman number 15. Star Wars 27, which as you can see on the cover, is a Yoda story. And there's also Thanos 3, which has basically the whole issue is a brawl with the Shi'ai Guardians. I don't want to spoil it. There's an awesome page in there. Mike Deodato just illustrates the heck out of this comic. Jeff Lemire is a great writer. Check it out. It's also Thunderbolts featuring, as you can see, Songbird, as well as Winter Soldier with a brand new arm. It's got a teched out arm, new features, and then a Inhumans versus X-Men tie-in, Extraordinary X-Men, number 18. So that is it for this week. Thank you very much for watching. We hope you enjoyed reading comics this week, and we hope you enjoy spreading the word of comics. If there's a series you're really, really loving, tell your friends, say about it in the comments, spread the word, and hopefully it'll inspire someone else to check out the comic. Thank you very much for watching.